one become the beneficiary of a miracle? So we want to be blessed in all that we do, and we want good things to come to us, but is there a way to actually trigger the process? And the answer is yes, but it's not simple. On the other hand, it's not hard. In fact, often when people try too hard, they end up being unsuccessful. When we become too focused, we actually don't deliver. Let me explain. In the Parsha of Vayera, which starts off with the story of Abraham has just circumcised himself at age 99, and Hashem appears to him. There's a lot of important information that comes from this narrative, and that is that Hashem didn't appear to him because he circumcised himself, knowing that that would happen. Hashem appeared to him because it's something that Avram always dreamt of. And appearing here means to have a conscious experience of the infinite. That's something that Avram always strived for. Never imagined he would get it, but always strived for it. He'd been on a journey for 99 years exploring every spiritual system that existed, trying to find a way in which he could lose himself and exist within the greater meaning of Hashem. And he's been on this journey all his life. When the instruction from Hashem comes to him that he should circumcise himself, he does so because that is what has been asked of him. It's not, well, that's interesting because I'm willing to circumcise myself at age 99 if I get something in return. Nor was there the conversation, Abraham, circumcise yourself and I will appear to you. I'll give you the experience you want. It was just, if you really love me, please circumcise yourself as a sign of that commitment to what it is that I want of you in this world, says God. And so Avram does it. What he receives after is not a reward in context of payment. It is a reward in the supernatural. It is a miracle in that Abraham was not actually worthy of receiving such an experience. It's not like as a human being he deserved to experience the infinite, but rather he received it because Hashem chose to give it to him. And he chose to give it to him because Avram had transcended physicality. He'd gone beyond being a human, in that he had done something that was of no benefit to him. He could not understand for the life of him how this was of any good to him. Plus, it actually disrupted his comfort levels. Circumcision is quite uncomfortable. So what we learn from here is actually there is a way to transcend the natural order. The natural order meaning the order of how things work in this world. Nature, which has the same numerical value as Elohim, which is God. In the beginning, God created. That name of God, Elohim, represents the concept that Hashem actually created a system that was somewhat predictable and able to be analyzed. There is cause and effect. There's action and reaction. There's process and rate of change. And there is a system that clicks together and is able to be discovered. Even if we don't know it all, it's discoverable. That's nature. You work hard, you get something. You don't work hard, you won't. But working hard doesn't mean you get something that is supernatural, because the supernatural is not a part of our world. However, the supernatural, the infinite, does exist. The way one brings supernatural energy into their life and into this world is through altruism, with no intention of doing it for any other reason except that it is the right thing to do. When a person lives in a way that is not about the self-serving pleasure, but actually lives in a way in where they're here to serve the world, of course they've got to self-preserve. Of course they've got to eat. Of course they've got to look after themselves. But the whole purpose of looking after themselves is to be able to contribute to that which Hashem asks of us. Then that is actually other-centered living. And when a person not only does live in that altruistic way, but actually goes to the point of even paining themselves if that's what it takes to achieve something. So coming at a financial challenge or coming at a physical challenge, but saying, I'm going to do it despite the fact that it's very hard because that's what's correct, then what that act, which is called bittul, which is self-nullification, ego abnegation, when you do that, a whole different dimension of reality happens to become your reality. And that can manifest in the form of physical blessing, spiritual experience, all sorts. The whole catch is that it'll always catch you by surprise. You'll be like, wow, I just got that. I just experienced it. Where did it come from? Well, it comes from above. It comes from Hashem. But you can only discover it afterwards, because if you go into something intentionally saying, God, I'll do a deal with you, well, then it's not really about the other, it's about the self. And so what we learned from Avram this week is actually how to manifest miracles. What we also discover is that frustrating challenge that to manifest a miracle requires the non-desire, to not desire the miracle to happen. I'll let you wrestle with that.